Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCS Challenger. Apologies for the slightly long break that we had there, but obviously we had to have the quarterfinals done before we could actually get to the semi-finals. That's just how things are. We are going to be getting into Neeb going up against JonSnow, as JonSnow was able to defeat Pili Pili, which is an impressive result in itself.
Yeah. He played pretty well. Those games were quite intense. We got to catch a little bit of that last one in particular, like the last two. And yeah, JonSnow was playing really well, just expanding properly, defending whatever was being thrown at him, and countering the composition of Pili Pili very nicely as well. And it's not like, he cheesed or, stayed on layer tech, right? He went for hive, got these brutals and stuff. Neeb was probably sitting back watching this and thinking, how am I going to destroy these guys? And no, it's the time he gets to show how.
Yeah, definitely. And we've always known Neeb to be pretty damn good against the Zergies. So let's see how JonSnow's going to approach it. He did need a moment or two before he was ready for this game, so hopefully he's ready in a second. We're going to be on Abyssal Reef.
Scarlet did go 3-0, by the way, against Puck.
Yep.
So she's in the qualifying match on the other side against either Semper or Drunken Boy, which currently is 2-0 in Drunken Boy's favor.
Some good stuff by Drunken Boy.
That would be sick. Can you imagine? Like, he beat True.
Yeah.
Then now up against Semper.
And if he wins that and goes up against Scarlet, there's no reason to say he couldn't beat Scarlet after beating True.
There is every reason to say it, but...
Oh, okay, if you say so.
We're not going to.
So we're still just waiting for JonSnow to join this lobby.
Yeah, JonSnow wanted a bit of a break after these long games. It was 4 grueling maps against his opponents, Pili Pili, who I think we've come to expect quite a good performance out of, especially after the runs that he's had in the past in Katowice, in Austin. But sadly, this time fell down to the loser bracket, where he still has a chance.
You say in Katowice, you mean right here or in the building across from where we are?
It is very city. Well, it's totally unrelated because the tournament's not happening here, but
it's true.
I guess you find fun where you can, Kerlaris, can't you?
Well, yeah, when it's 4 AM in the morning, I'll do what I can.
Pili Pili is actually going to face Spells. Looks like the Protosses will have to kill one another. Masa is against True in loser bracket round 2. That's sick.
Yeah.
And Puck against No Regret down there as well. BioIce was eliminated, Raze as well, Game Time as well.
Yeah, cool. So, as always, this is why we don't start before lobbies are done, but there we go. We will wait for a moment here while JonSnow... Hey, there he is. He's in. GLHF. Awesome. Almost ready. Almost. How was Rotterdam stream going? Was it good?
I watched for a little bit.
Yeah? Did he win?
It was alright. I think he won, one game that I was watching.
Yeah. Good to see Roddy still plowing away at the ladder.
Trying not to bleed out too much MMR.
Before the Caster tournament.
Yeah.
How's he doing MMR-wise, do you know?
Slightly above 5k6.
It's alright, that, isn't it? It's alright.
It's alright. Just alright. Because 5k6, I think, or like 5k5 to 5k6 might not even be Grandmaster anymore. It's like kind of the cutoff.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that, but I dropped out of Grandmaster,
Yeah?
I'm so sad.
You did whilst we were on air.
Yeah, but that's because of the way the promotion works. But clearly it was the games that happened before that that provoked that, right?
Right, yeah.
I went on a nice losing streak. I will redeem myself eventually.
Yeah. Can you play here? Will you play here?
I want to play in the hotel. I brought a monitor and my laptop, but I don't have, what is it called? There's no Ethernet port in my laptop, so I need to buy USB to Ethernet because the Wi-Fi is not strong enough. But then I will play for sure.
Yeah. It's very interesting that there's no Ethernet port on that.
Yeah, I think it's because it's very skinny and small. Like, the Ethernet is quite big. Almost like outdated, to be honest.
All right, so countdown's begun for our first game on Abyssal Reef. Neeb going up against JonSnow. And again, you know, very impressed with how JonSnow was able to play that previous game.
Yeah.
Pili Pili pulled an amazing move. He had like 4 Colossus or so, and then he just elucidated a ton more Colossus. I love doing that. It was great fun. But anyway, let's jump into it. Game number 1. This is a qualifying round. The winner will get an all-expenses-paid trip to WCS Jönköping. As we have spawned down to the bottom right-hand corner, it will be Neeb. And over to the top left-hand corner, we have JonSnow.
And Neeb, like I said, he probably got some time to watch how JonSnow was playing. And from there, he can draw his own conclusions. A quite good Protoss versus Zerg player here, Neeb, so wouldn't be surprised if he did really well here up against JonSnow, even though JonSnow had an impressive series against Pili Pili earlier. Neeb relies a lot, much like many Protosses, on Oracles and Adepts. Behind this, he has pretty flawless mechanics to take into whatever he wants, usually Storm, Immortals, and all that. A lot of Zergs end up dying to just his initial units.
Mm. Yeah, they did, especially when it was the huge error of the Adept in the way that he was able to control them and use them. So Neeb was trying to block the natural, did for quite a while, forced the third base to go down from Zerg at that location at least. And we'll have the natural on the way for Neeb while he continues his usual wall-off that he's been doing for quite a while on this map.
Yeah, some players for some time started walling off on the other side and then taking the base on the low ground. But it looks like it's kind of reverting back nowadays towards taking the other one that everybody was taking on at first.
Not full block in the end. Prob's going to have to move on away.
All right, Neeb, what is it going to be? Quickly into a Stargate or some fast Twilights? If you look at the second pylon, a lot of the time it can tell a story. In this case, not particularly. It could be really either. Maybe a Twilight Council, I'm more inclined, but he's building up quite a bit of gas, so I'm now thinking Stargates.
Yeah, that's why he would do that.
There's going to be Stargate here in the back. The first Adept's going to posture forward here for Neeb.
A little bit of a look around with this Overlord. Sees the extent of how much is going on at the natural, but not much more than that. A few Lings on the way, keeping him locked down here. Very, very standard start to this game with the Adept poking out at the front, but I don't think Neeb will get much done with this.
Actually, standing there is quite nice. But there are enough Lings that he should be pushed away. But yeah, if there had been rallying drones here between those bases, he would have been able to snipe them. Keeping an Adept at home was smart as well by Neeb, because now he fully denied the Zergling scouts. He caught that guy, sniped it. The Stargate has not been seen yet.
And the Oracle will come out well in time before this Overlord's able to get down there. No pneumatized carapace for them. So there will not be Overlords darting in and spotting the Stargate before.
And keep in mind, this Oracle comes out very fast. Like, the Stargate was started shortly after the first Adept, and then he chrono boost out the first Oracle as well. So it's basically one of the earliest timing here that you can get it at, so that it's harder for the Zerg to be ready exactly on time. And if the Spores are not ready, we've seen how a pilot like Neeb, also known as Maverick, can fly all around and kill drones all over the place.
Yep.
Top Guns, one of your favorite movies? Or?
No, not really.
Why?
I mean, it's just not one of my favorites.
What's your criticism on that movie?
No criticism. I'm too tired for criticism.
I thought you were going to tell me Tom Cruise is a Burke or something.
Well, he's as short as me, so you never know.
I saw an interview recently of Jason Statham, where they ask him, who do you look up to? And he says anything above 5'6". It's so funny.
Wait, is he really that short?
I mentioned a random number, but I think he's not super tall either.
Oh. The more you know. Adepts are in here, and that's actually quite a significant number of Adepts, with the Oracles helping out against the Zerglings as well. Does he save all of them? He saves all of them and kills so many
What a
Zerglings.
guy.
22 units have died off.
Give me a shift L real quick.
Okay.
Boom! 20 links, 1 queen and 1 drone.
Nice.
Zerg is slowly going extinct here against Neeb, and his perfect score so far.
Well, I'll have plenty of them to kill in WCS Challenger, WCS Jönköping, and
Yeah.
this is to keep continuing. How many already qualified? Like 10?
Yeah. It's 10 Zergs and 2 Terrans. No, 8 Zergs and 2 Terrans, I think.
Crazy. Well, a lot of Zergs going to try and flood in here. A lot of Zerglings.
We still got 6 players to qualify. That's going to be 4 here from North America and 2 from Latin America, where things are super interesting because in Austin, both Cham and Special were in the top 8.
And Kelazar wasn't far behind.
Exactly. And now all of these guys are in this. Actually, Kelazar and the playoffs don't have a losers bracket. And Kelazar and Cham, if they win their quarterfinals match, they will meet in the semifinals. So it will be, I guess, between one of them two if they met in the semifinals.
Oh, I see.
And Special, still listed as major on Liquipedia. Get it together, guys. He's facing B-Lord and then either Jarpy or Wing Iron, so definitely doable for him.
Yep. All right, these Zerglings going to look for a bit of a scout, but a full wall off goes down for Neeb at the third base. Big, big wall. Ling's just poised outside. Gonna have Warp Prism, Templar Archives finishing up soon, so you can start moving out and being aggressive here, can Neeb. Even though he's been plenty aggressive with these Oracles, trying to get some kills. Oh, one of the Oracles does die off. But overall, they've still done a lot of work. That's the first unit he's lost.
Unacceptable!
How dare he?
He'll survive. Quite a few sentries here with a lot of energy. He's gonna warp in High Templars and Zealots. Wish charge about to finish. This is so early as well. Like, Neeb is so clean mechanically that he's quite a bit ahead in supply right now. And at 7 minutes 15, he's about to hit the timing with this many units. This is absolute insanity. If he lands the right force fields here, he might be able to completely crush through.
Say that, but that's quite a lot of Zerg. As Tomb Banelings do end up getting through all of that, trying to block off some of the back there. The Banelings coming through, and JonSnow greets this very, very well, very aggressively. One of the Archons already dead, focusing the second Archon. That falls as well. Now it's only a few Zealots left.
A nice defense by JonSnow, but to be able to hold so convincingly, he's 10 walkers behind, so he's had to skip on a lot of these drones. And in the meantime, we've already got the fourth base from Neeb earlier than JonSnow even thinks about taking his, which is obviously great news for the Protoss players. Storm now starts.
5 Zealots on the way as well as an Immortal. As you said, that Storm
The Prism.
on the way. Ooh. I just hit the Prism. And we'll have that fourth base. It's now started for JonSnow, knowing that he needs to.
There's
keep
another
bases.
Prism at the top, ready to do something around the natural base. I guess Neeb realized, like, he's so good with his Prisms that he might as well get 2, you know, and have some fun.
Yeah.
Sentry would have been sick on the high ground if he got down on time, but in this case, Banelings will come and clean up.
He picked those up as Banelings crashed into them, and now they're still. That's a bit of a costly investment there. Not killing off those Zealots for those Banelings that he used.
Yeah, JonSnow's still ahead in supply. He's doing a fantastic job of just injecting, getting a ton of units out on the map. When Phoenix finally rewarded, patrolling there at the top for a long time, hits an Overlord kind of randomly.
Not bad at all. Oracle still sticking around in the middle as well. Really wants to just tag and run away.
And with Storm now finished, I think Neeb can just kind of turtle for a little bit up until he has a certain amount of storms. We saw Showtime earlier with always 4 to 5 High Templars, always building up that energy for an ideal amount of storms ready for the fights.
He did lose that Warp Prism down towards the bottom, so he's only got the one now at the top, dishing out some potential threats. And that's Spire about to finish up as well for Zerg now as well. So this game can go the long way, but the longer it goes against Neeb, the more I have to worry for JonSnow, really, because Neeb really gets it.
Yeah, I think JonSnow is going to want to play aggressive here for sure.
We've seen Neeb just have his Archon Immortal balls be extremely strong.
With the Spire about to finish, look at the gas of JonSnow. He's going to start 13 Mutas.
Cheeky.
He knows that Neeb's going to be very committed to getting Charge Lots, Archons, High Templars, and he's going to lack either both Stalkers and Phoenixes. So 13 Mutas is actually such a high number that if you start flying from base to base, even if there is one cannon per middle line, you're going to be killing that cannon very quickly and forcing out a lot of Stalkers, which you can avoid very easily.
That was going to the natural. Can't really do too much.
Oh, he's going to engage elsewhere at the same time here, chasing down those Archons. Let's see if Neeb actually means to engage these. Maybe forced to. So many Storms available.
Lands a few there, but these High Templars came late to the party. And the Hydralisks had already killed off a few of the Archons before they even got there.
Oh, and some Banelings rolled into the third base of Neeb and cleaned up. 19 probes died. JonSnow is playing out of his mind.
Zealots in the mineral line, though, for Neeb in towards the main.
That guy, alone.
Just one. Yeah, he had a few with him, but yeah, now he's just doing what he can. 9 kills.
Like Kaila's in Poland. Where's the pierogies?
No, I know. I'm the tactical sniper that shoots from afar. Especially with other current games playing. Attempting to play.
Yeah.
Going to be a lot of Storms as well as Archons pushing forwards.
More like sloppy sniper.
No man, it's all about practice. We'll get there.
That third base is so exposed by Neeb. The cannon there got blown up actually by those Banelings and all the Mutas. The floodgates are going to be open, and I think Neeb realizing there's so many Mutas on the map, he thinks he needs to go for the kill. And he very well might be right here. He catches so many units.
Yeah, he's actually conquering the ground army pretty significantly.
Oh, and JonSnow's going to fly back.
He could actually...
I mean, there's quite a few Stalkers there, but if he snipes the High Templars, this is worth it.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't go near the Archons, he's fine.
And Neeb realizing that the Mutas flew back, he can even pull back and regroup now. That was just so great here. Both players played it right, but Neeb gets the better end of things.
Yeah.
For now.
Still a lot of Banelings left. Just, I would blink one Stalker into them.
He doesn't have Blink.
Yes. Oh no, it doesn't have Blink, you're right.
It's on the way and almost finished.
Alright, so banking up some more energy for these Storms. More Archons are joining the fray. This could get very scary for JonSnow.
Yeah, those Storms. He's going to have a really hard time, I think, dealing with them. The fact that there is Crit makes him confident to fight on it. JonSnow finally is kind of reconsidering engaging with the Mutas across the map, where he's flying once again. Quite far away, actually.
So crashing over the this. And likewise through to the Banelings, but...
Ooh, only one High Templar left actually up there.
Really? He lost that many?
He morphed into Archons, I think he stormed and morphed.
This one Phoenix has got a lot of work to do, but he can really do that. So, Protoss is going to move back with the front force of his army.
One Phoenix against quite a few Mutas here. Well, what is this? Archon mode?
Yeah.
He's going to dedicate all this time to flying that guy.
Gonna have to. Oh, catches the Muta though with the Blink Stalkers. Not bad. 2 Banelings rolling in. I don't think... Oh, they can get there, but he splits.
Yeah, very good splits. Oh, no, I should have done anything. At first, he was really good.
11 die. I think the Mutalist is actually going toe-to-toe with the Stalkers to start.
Neeb's lacking a War Prism here to reinforce with his army, but I've mentioned this many times before in my previous broadcast. When a Protoss finally maxes out against a Zerg on lair tech, the Zerg is in a world of trouble. But in this case, there is a lot of Banelings, so it's still very dangerous for Neeb to be, on the map and potentially fighting this army.
He just wants to shut down these Mutalists, but then he knows he has a bit more freedom.
Oh, the High Templars! Out on the map, getting caught.
Oh my god.
He's gonna have to morph them in an absolute chaos. He might be able to corner this army here. Mothership Core around the natural right now.
This is a disaster here, really, for Neeb in terms of how it's gone.
Actually, no. Because so many of those Banelings have already fallen.
You're right. And even some more getting sacrificed at the front against mostly armored units, so they're not really getting the full value that they want.
I don't think JonSnow should have done that as well, because there's Mothership Core in defense. So in case of a base trade, it would be way worse for him. When there's 4 recharges available, a lot of those Mutas are dying. JonSnow not paying attention. He's trading them for very few probes there that I don't think Neeb will care about.
There's too much value in this army for Neeb at the front as well against these just Hydralisks. That's still a lot of Immortals alive. You can blink forwards with the Stalkers there to get that trade going.
Yeah, Neeb is starting to have a critical mass of Stalkers here that barely will be contestable from JonSnow, who's kind of run out of banings for the most part and doesn't have that many Zerglings either. We all know what happens from there. Protoss just blinks back endlessly.
5/5 Templars morphing in as well, so gonna have extra storms soon. There isn't actually anywhere with this army just yet, but they'll join.
Where's the prison, Neeb?
Yeah, doesn't want it.
He just reinforced straight into the fight. Might be able to close things out, but might be able to do it
Links
anyway
on
here.
Templars.
He's got more army supply.
Tries to move them back from those links. Does successfully get them away. JonSnow waning in terms of army supply now. Blinks forwards here, and will be able to kill off a lot of the rest of the army here of JonSnow. That will be GG for game number 1. Neeb takes it.
Yeah, quite convincing here. JonSnow, he tried to do what he could. He had some upgrades as well. He had +2 melee and +2 missile. So his units were doing quite a bit of damage, but Neeb just had too much. Like I said, you get close to maxing out against the Zerg player on layer tech, you're doing pretty well usually as Protoss. And in this case, I don't even think that JonSnow, generally speaking, wants to stay on layer tech, but he was forced to this game because of the damage he kept on taking, the units he kept on being forced to make.
Yeah. Difficult times there for JonSnow, as much as he was able to run over Pili and do well there. Let's see where we're going for game number 2. Neeb is in a game. Come on, boys, give us that invite. There we go. Sequencer.
Yeah, that was really good here by Neeb. Good control on everything. These oracles, once again, doing their job. He was on the perfect for a very long time. And then from there, he's just so solid mechanically. That's what really bluffs me, right? Like, because he's across the map being aggressive, and a lot of people, I think, would not be doing as well in terms of macro, but not Neeb, you know, like the 4th base starts earlier than the Zerg, which in my mind is just absolutely insane for him to be able to achieve that. So very impressive in game number 1.
All right, we can get into game number 2 then. Let's go. As we do have spawning up to the top right-hand corner, will be Neeb in the red. And down to the bottom left-hand corner, we have JonSnow in the blue. Looking to bring it back. Wolof going to be starting for Neeb at the front. Has he already sent his probe out? Yes, he has. Wants to have all the information he can.
Neeb very well could be our first Protoss here to qualify for WCS Jönköping. For straight into the group stage number 3. Once again, that's what we're playing for here, not just money, not just WCS points, which also are very important.
Yep.
And in which he's actually qualified for the Global Finals, so that's something less than he has to worry about.
All points he can rack up will mean his seeding is all the better going into the later stages, but guaranteeing himself the 3,000 points from a victory means his seeding's pretty high anyway already.
Neeb's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
He's many points ahead of Nurture as well.
Yeah. 1,320. Nice. Considering the fact that with those 3,000 points, the space between him and 8th place is almost 2,700 points. That's kind of crazy.
I don't even, I mean, he's very unlikely to start underperforming as well, so he's going to keep on scoring more points.
Yep. Yes, he is.
And more money.
I mean, he has the potential. I can't quite recall the record of WCS points that a non-Korean has ever earned in the WCS system across the entire thing. I think it was like, no, that was the Koreans that earned somewhere like 6,000 points one year. But he could quite easily break that record super fast this year.
If he keeps on doing as well as he has.
Yeah. Admittedly,
maybe get that triple crown, man.
Yeah, maybe get that triple crown. Admittedly, some of those some of those years, there's been more tournaments in some years than there have in others. So technically, there was more WCS points on the line. But this year, he could quite easily break that figure if he continues playing the way he does.
It's nice to see guys like JonSnow though rising up to the challenge and you know, doing well against Pili Pili and now being up against Neeb in a qualifying match. Like, this is a big moment for him. I'm sure he would love to be able to do it, but it's going to take some hella games, I think.
Might have a good chance down towards the lower bracket if he's not able to be victorious here, to be honest. After what we saw from him against Pili Pili, as you say. Good showing. Now he stands up against the King in the West. Gotta do
whatever happened to the King in the North?
Well, you
good old Naniwa.
What happened? Yeah, what did happen?
That was Naniwa, right? The King in the North?
Yeah, it was.
What was Thorsten's nickname then?
Spoon Taran? God, it was, wasn't it?
That's a terrible nickname.
It is. It's pretty bad.
Just like his playstyle. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that was the whole point, I think. Yeah. Who gave him it?
Probably someone salty.
Yeah, probably.
Neeb, I think he's actually closing in on earnings to finally get ahead of some of these other guys that we have like super high on StarCraft.
But most importantly, he took over you that last tournament, right?
Yeah, he did. Damn.
That's important.
There's still quite a few foreigners ahead of him, though.
Yeah. I think Stefano's still ahead of him for sure. Who else is still ahead of him? Snoot? Is Snoot still ahead of him?
Yeah, Nurcio, Snoot, Stefano is the top 3, and then there's Neeb. And then under Neeb now is Scarlet and Mana.
I mean,
and Showtime.
Considering you just mentioned 3 names and then he is 4th, that's quite impressive considering how long he's been at his top form.
And I also think that like he's not incredibly far off behind him either. So he definitely could catch up. Let's see the difference. Snoot is on 300k, so that's pretty insane in itself.
Yeah. All right.
Neeb is on 191 right now. Hey, what do you know? A couple WCS events.
Well, how did this happen? 4 Dark Templars just walked into this as the well, and
if JonSnow kites, he might be okay actually.
Yeah.
Because DTs, they look a lot scarier, you know, than they actually are at times. Like you see them right there, you're like, oh god, they do so much damage. But if you can prevent them from shooting for a long time, which is exactly what JonSnow did here, you might be okay. He still took some drone damage. In this case, it looks like he's not going to stop anytime soon.
No, indeed.
And Neeb, with these adepts, he always makes the most of them as well. He's going to target, fire onto these drones, 2 Archons as well, get into that 3rd base.
Jeez, it's just all over the place.
Neeb is hungry for WCS points. He's hungry to kill some Zerg, and he's hungry for some more money.
He gobbles up the WCS points, Todd. He just gobbles them. Very impressive stuff by Neeb.
Takes his money straight to the bank.
And invests it wisely.
In the stock market.
Yep.
I hope not for him.
Pick up, get out of there. That's a lot of roaches. Ravagers morphing in as well. Where are the Ravagers morphing in? Oh no, oh, okay, there they are. Looking for the defense. Picks up, gets out. Lost a Ravager? That's expensive. Oof.
Yeah, quite a few more gates going down in the main of Neeb here as well. He wants to keep up on with his production behind this. That was a big commitment, actually, to go on the aggression with this much, but he achieved, I think, what he needed in killing 14 walkers total. But behind this, we're going to have a Spire here starting for JonSnow, which could be very dangerous. But I'm pretty sure that Neeb has no intention of just sitting back and doing nothing, and he's going to be going up for a follow-up attack.
Yeah.
And in this case, 3 Immortals, or 30 Immortals rather, about to come out. He's already got 2 Archons across the map. He's already got a Prism. If Neeb wants to go for it, this is going to be a very scary attack there. How many sentries does he have?
He has 4 sentries.
Yeah, that's so. They're building up on energy, and he's going to have quite a few Guardian Shields and Force Fields to work with.
He's going to have to be going up against the Spire transition, which so far has not been detected.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody always attacks with 3 Immortals here in this case if you're a pretty good player. So I sit back and die to the Mutas. Never lucky. Yeah, this timing is going to be sick. Look at the army supply. Look at it.
I'm looking.
Just look at it. Look down there. Ignore everything else.
I'm
and
looking,
look at the goddamn supply
It's
already.
there.
It's insane.
I can appreciate that. 6 Mutas on the way.
Yeah, big Warpins. He's going to be a lot of
Oh
Archons.
my god. He actually has no idea that this is on his doorstep either.
Yeah, that's a big, big problem here for JonSnow, who's playing blind and hoping for the best. Sometimes when you hope for the best, you might as well expect the worst, and the worst is right there on your doorstep.
Do you remember that nightmarish horror game that you were talking about before? All of a sudden this comes out of nowhere.
What is that? In this case, what is it? Dobermans jumping the window?
No, please! There's a lot of power behind this army. The roaches and ravages on the ground are going to get smashed. And the mutalisks come in to help. GG. Neeb. 2-0. No problem. One more map will qualify him for WCS Jönköping.
My face when going Spire, but there is more Archons than Mutas coming out.
Yeah.
Not a successful transition here for JonSnow and Neeb, which is looking so scary.
Yeah.
He's making Zerg look like an easy matchup.
He's making them look like ants. Small
They're
ants.
kind of hard, to be honest.
Yeah, they kind of are, aren't they?
But very scary ants.
Yeah.
Like Ender's Game.
Like giant ants. Giant, big, scary ants. We've figured it out,
In
Todd.
big numbers.
It's just evolution. It's just science.
Actually, he was the one that was saying was Anders as well.
Was it?
Yeah, earlier.
Oh, was it?
With his piloting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
There you go.
We've completely figured it out, Todd. Completely. Ascension to Aya.
Who would you be in Ender's Game?
I don't know. I really don't.
One of those kids that struggled in class, but was paired up with Anders, so you still make it on the final team.
So I
And
was
he cheers
carried.
you on, so you do okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I can take that.
Either that or Bin. You pick. Oh, he was one of those guys, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll be one of the carried people, it's fine.
I like that movie, I don't know why. I
okay.
like strategic stuff, like even if it's corny and...
Yeah, it's alright.
I think people that didn't like it were mostly people that read the book and that thought that the movie was very different. But very rarely do you read a book and then you go to the movie and you're like, oh yeah, that was an amazing transition.
You see, the problem is that those kind of people, and I know a lot of those people, they're really pretentious. Let's get into the game. We can talk
Says
about
you.
it. No, wait. All right, up to the top left is going to be Neeb in the red. And down to the bottom right, we have JonSnow in the blue. Let's take an example of Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah. Lord of the Rings, great books, really entertaining. Movies, great films, really entertaining. There's nothing worse in this world than going up to one of those people who was like, well, I read the books, and the books were way better than the actual films. And then it's like, where's Tom Bombadil? Oh, they've missed out so much. I'm like, just shut up. Just enjoy things. Just enjoy. If they were good, those people, those book people, no.
Le epic rant.
The Lord of the Rings one gets me particularly bad because, God, oh, the books were much better.
What about the Warcraft movie? As somebody who played a lot of World of Warcraft.
50-50. They kind of like gave a good nod to some people. Like, they gave a good nod to their fans, but at the same time, it was very
You know, I talked about
Hollywooded.
how, because like when you know the whole story of something, the first movie is always like kind of bound to disappoint.
Yeah.
Kind of like the superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like I thought the first Captain America was terrible, but then you take the Avengers, I think that's already a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
Even
say
though
so.
I don't know what that says for like a standard.
But like, I mean, which ones did you use as an example just now? What did you say before the Avengers?
Captain America, like the first movie.
Before that as well, as your example.
I don't think I said anything.
Ah, I've forgotten now. That's a shame.
Oh, everything's kind of like that. Even Thor, like the first Thor movie. Well, to
Yeah.
be honest, all of them are pretty, like not the best.
No, they're not great, I suppose.
But the first one in particular, I watched it, I was like, what?
Well, like, I can sit back and enjoy something for what it is, right? More often than not. Yeah. You'll find that. So there was a big conflict in the comic book communities about the Civil War film that came out for Captain America, and they were like, "Oh, it's terrible! It strays way too far away from the actual comics." And yeah, there was that going on for a long time with those guys. To be fair, I didn't like the film, so I can kind of empathize with them on that regards. But
Neeb with, again, a different opener here.
yeah.
He went for a quick Nexus, double gateway at the wall. He's going for, it's almost like old school. You go for like this double adept, and then behind this you get glaives. You keep up with the adept pressure, and then a lot of players, they will go for double Stargate. I don't think necessarily that this is what we're going to see here, but it's still a very dangerous build. And we already saw last game, JonSnow didn't see the attack coming, and
No,
he took quite a bit of damage. The first one and the later one. And now, guess what he's not seeing coming? These two adepts!
Yeah. Which is a bit painful to say the least. And there could easily be a follow-up if Neeb wanted to as well.
And Neeb is actually not going to commit.
Nope. Nice response from JonSnow, but Glaives is going to be on the way.
Oh,
That
that's
denied a
so
lot
sick.
of mining time, though.
That is so sick. JonSnow is so lucky. Imagine if he had drawn up now, because now he's getting linked.
Oh, the link got in, though, and saw everything. It sees the extra gateways going down.
Yeah.
Oof. That's very important.
Yeah. That's a great scout, actually, from JonSnow. If he had droned up after these two adepts left, that would have been even better for JonSnow, because then he would have boosted his economy earlier on.
Yeah. A lot of links that aren't doing anything, as you say. Evolution Chamber on the way. That link was so important, because otherwise it would have had to been slow overlords to react, whilst the Bailing Nest is already going down before he's seen what he saw in the main.
What are the chances we see a double Stargate? Probably not very high.
No. I reckon he'll just go with this Glaives. Or what?
Just do.
Doesn't have a warp prison though. It's a bit of a shame. That's a lot of depth already, but...
Oh! Last target.
Oh.
Come on, show me the second one.
Oh!
Boom!
Oh!
Old school, baby!
Todd! Clairvoyant
This is like
Todd.
even better than what that one time Marine King opened 3 barracks and Apollo called Meg. That was even better. What now?
You tell him, Todd. You tell him.
But to be honest, like I don't think Neeb should commit to the aggression with this here, because supposedly JonSnow is ready, but wait, what are the Banelings?
I don't know, he didn't morph any in, so he's just got links alone.
Did he cancel them? Because I was pretty sure he had made some, but I guess the Bailing Nest finished a little bit late.
They're on the way. Oh god, this is actually very annoying for the Lings. The Adepts are in a position where they're going to get okay trades off against those Lings.
Yeah, and they shoot so fast with blades, it's actually insane.
Well, like
JonSnow ideally needs to see those double Stargate, but the fact that he's massing Lings, if you actually went for an attack on the third base, that would be very scary, because there's no sort of transition. It's just like pure adept glaives.
You know what's really cool as well about the double Stargate is that he's 2 games in a row he's seen Mutalisks. So you just whack this down. And
You might be hoping that JonSnow goes for yet another one, but in this case, well, you have to get a lair before going for Spire, right? And then none has started here so far this game.
It's been constantly pressured by these Adepts. They shade forwards, just looking for some damage. They see the Banelings morphing in right next to them. And go into the main. Against those Lings, trying to get as best trade as possible.
He's getting a couple drones actually here is Neeb. He used most of his Adepts to fight the Lings, but selected 2 or 3 of them and manually targeted drones, so he gets a few. And I mean, look at the Walker supply now. 53 to 38, this is great for Neeb. Not only there was no lair, there was also no spores. And you know what you need against Phoenixes? You need a couple spores.
Yes, you do. Robo Facility is going down right next to the third. It's very vulnerable.
Oh, those Banelings in the middle of the map. Gonna get sniped by those Phoenixes. And then it's gonna be only Lings attacking to the defense of Neeb here. Well set up on his third base.
Force fields are important. And they're not.
Okay, that's a pretty late Mothership core, but
yeah,
guess it's fine.
3 spores going down as well. The Phoenix come back. He's got to know that those Phoenix numbers have risen quite quickly in regards to how many Adepts are out as well. So probably anticipating the double Stargate now behind this, unless he's not too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Hydra then go down as soon as this lair finishes. And JonSnow just going into Hydralisks here to try and fight this. But remember, Hydralisks are pretty bad against Adepts, so you need to make sure you have enough Banelings on the ground to deal with this. And Centrifugal Hooks is going to be there for exactly that here in this game.
Very important, as now the Phoenix is going to fly in and try and do a little bit of damage. There's only 1 Spore Crawler in this mineral line, so they could still get some good damage done. Get them off in another Spore Crawler, realizing the number of Phoenixes is risen quite significantly. compared to just a normal little number of 4 or so. Just for the Queen. Starts picking up everything else.
You can get everything. These overlords, what do you think is going to happen to them?
Everything gets popped.
It's going to spare them, actually. He could have stayed with a couple of the Phoenixes. But
Could have. All right, picking up 4 Adepts, going into the main
that's
base.
dangerous because there is no vision down there. So how is he supposed to see this coming?
Yep. Not at all. Does Phoenix out. The only overlords that are really on the map is the one up to the top left-hand corner of the main base.
And then in the meantime, you can fully expect Neeb to go into Storm as soon as this Templar Archive finishes, get a lot of high Templars, charge loss, and then eventually some Archons. And then go and secure his spot and ticket to Sweden, beautiful Sweden, Jönköping, where there's a great lake next to the venue.
Neeb can go and relax, put his feet in the lake, chill out for the first 2 rounds, not care about his opponents. And
then show up and slay some nerds.
Yeah. Gets on out there with the Adepts. He's killed off 25 workers. Wait, let me look at Lost. Okay, so it was those 16 Adepts before, but he's killed off 78 Zerglings, etc.
It's quite insane.
Just leave.
Storm on the way. And fourth phase as well for Neeb.
So far, JonSnow is scrambling for the defense here on the aggression that we're seeing for Neeb.
Even the Steam City by Neeb is just so great. Look at the third phase.
Yep.
Those gateways protect from the bailing attacks. There is pylons at the front for overcharge if he gets attacked by a huge chunk of army. And the robos, they're in the back, so they are like well protected. As long as you just stand there with the rest of your army, you're fine.
Yeah, definitely. Banking up a lot of energy on these high Templars as well now. Storm's on the way, charge going down. Infestation Pit is started here for JonSnow. He wants to try and get himself up to Hive and prolong this game to a...
JonSnow sent an overseer in.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, to try and scout what Neeb was doing.
Oh, there.
He's dead now.
Sorry, me.
Just wanted to point out, like, it's nice that he tries to attempt to scout, but I love the reaction of Neeb of immediately killing the Changeling with 1 probe zap, and then queuing his Phoenixes to go and kill that thing. He's like, no, 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 you sent something there, you're gonna lose it. I think he saw the Infestation Pit in the main with the Prism, which is a big piece on field formation, because then now he knows that Hive might be starting soon.
Yeah.
And if I look at my supply here, and I'm Neeb, and I'm always looking at my supply, even though I'm not Neeb, I know that I'm going to be able to max out before there is a Hive. And again, we're going back to that thing. If you're maxed out as Protoss and you've got a decent amount of tech and you're facing a layer Zerg, you shouldn't be losing.
Just go kill him.
As long as you manage the fight properly, you should be winning, especially if you got Storm and as many High Templars as Neeb has, which in this case is 5, with almost full energy, Kailaris. This is going to be R-rated.
Yeah, and JonSnow is trying to take his 5th base down towards the bottom, but while all this is going on, there's still harassment from Adepts. Big warp-in of Adepts actually coming into the main base.
He's trying to force the bad split here out of JonSnow.
Yeah.
He's trying to make him take a poor fight, because those units are very expendable, like Neeb's building up a bank here right now as well. Bailing's morphing just below Phoenix is at the top left-hand side towards that 4th base. And he cancels! Oh, that's so sick.
Takes him up, kills him off this army.
And he was waiting. He just went there with the Phoenixes. He was like, yes, morph them, please. I'm waiting right there.
And the funny thing is that he's got so many High Templars with this army. Bailing's going into the 3rd base.
I told you about this Sim City. It's so sick.
Gets cleaned up. Yeah.
Neeb is just spot on with everything.
Storms on against a lot of those Zerglings, and everything's being held off by force fields as well. Neeb makes it look difficult to kill him, just in general. Like,
oh, that feedback was insane. He turned that Queen into a black hole.
Still a lot of energy on these High Templars, Todd.
Yeah, and Zealots at the bottom snipe the hatchery. That was JonSnow wanted to expect. He's everywhere. He's crushing him everywhere. Not in one place at once, but everywhere.
And feedback's the Queen. Why not? Why not? It was going to die anyway, but why not feedback it? Here come the drones off the line to try and stop Neeb, but nothing stopping Neeb. Nothing stopping the WCS champion currently, as he is going to qualify for another WCS and challenge for another championship, Todd. Whew.
And he does it quite close to flawlessly here. He dropped one single map here in this challenger, the main tournament here. That was against Massa. Other than that, 3-0 JonSnow and 3-0 against Raze as well. A 3-1 against Massa. But the beautiful thing about it is that even though he's qualified, we still will get to see him play in the winners finals and grand finals. That's going to be tomorrow.
We'll only see him in the grand finals ourselves. But yes.
Yeah, but people at home that have 3 monitors,
yes,
will get to see on another stream potentially.
That's true.
Neeb in action against either Scarlet or...
Drunken Boy, probably.
It's 2-2.
Really?
Semper's coming back.
Wow. Okay, then. Oh, Semper 3-2, apparently.
Wow, okay.
Just came in. Hot off the press.
A reverse sweep.
Wow, that's amazing.
For the French-Canadian after eating some poutine.
Love poutine. There you go. There's something that's not rubbish.
You know, we... and waffles and the maple syrup as well. We talked about Canadians going into this tournament here. There were almost half the players. In the end, not quite.
Yes.
But 2 of them in the second semis here. Oh, so it means 1 guaranteed Canadian will qualify here for Jönköping.
How apt. Going through today, a Canadian.
How do you always pick the perfect word? Apt.
Yeah.
You know, I would have just been a basic nerd. I would have said, how suitable.
Oh, yeah, that could work as well.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as developed as apt.
Okay, okay.
So good on you. Good job. Good job. You pulled your weight.
I appreciate that. Being a, I'm glad that you compliment me for being a native speaker. That's basically it. All right, we're going to go to a break, and when we're back, we're going to have Semper going up against Scarlet, which will be our final series of the day here for WCS Challenger.
Let's end this thing once and for all.